Hi fellas, really good page here about old Muhammad. Old Muhammad used to slit people's throats and chop people's heads off and attack lots of kids. Really good page. Yeah, I'll just zoom out a little bit. There he is having a singer assassinated. He really did send assassins out and had her stabbed to death in a home. He sneaked in and stabbed her. That was for making fun of old Mo. Yes, she did a little song that was making fun of him, saying, "Oh, here's the new prophet," and not many people believe him. Yeah, so she had her killed, but that was one of thousands. Here we see at the massacre of Banu Qurayza. I'll put a link underneath this. There's really good graphics. As we see, there's old Mo, top left corner there, chopping people's heads off. And he did the first few, and his mates joined in, and see they watched it. Actually, this would probably be Muhammad, because he chopped the first few heads off. And then it took all day till nightfall, or that many. 600 to 900 were killed at the first village. Yeah, 627, Banu Qurayza was the last Jewish tribe remaining in Medina, and he massacred them. Here he's with one of his dozens of sex slaves. Yes, he loved his old sex slaves. Yep, children. Oh, he liked his kids. Boy or girls, he didn't mind. Yeah, it's in the Quran. There were at least 2 boys who he was seen giving a BJ to, basically, and he didn't even stop when witnesses come in, and they even forgive this. And he took this out of the Quran. Actually, it's a bit hard to explain. A 55-year-old man giving little boys blowjobs, isn't it? Yeah, a bit difficult. Yes, here we go. Deportations of populations. This was at Tyeir, the second massacre, where they really did. I think it was they tied a man down. He'd hidden all the Jewish villages' gold. He was a chieftain, and he had them hidden very cleverly because he knew what they were coming for, to rob him. But he wasn't expecting them to take all the kids and women as slaves and to kill them all. So they really did build a fire on his chest. In the Quran, it says it was in a little metal pot. He tied a pot to his chest at Tyeir, and he really did set fire to it until the pain was so bad, beyond his abdomen, I would think. And once it was burning into his flesh and his muscles, of course, the guy said, "Oh, the gold is in such and such a house." So he wasn't quite dead. So then they called his wife over, his 17-year-old wife, Sophia, and they beheaded him, even though they got everything they wanted. And they subsequently, of course, sold all their kids, take all their kids at knife point, and they would sell them, because as with ISIS, who marry kids and sell women and sell children, they're very valuable. This is what built Islam. Here is this, and it's from a book called "It's All About Muhammad." That's Islam. This is where these illustrations are from, and it's even got sections for the Quran, surahs, where it goes on about sex slaves. This is all about his war crimes, extensive war crimes, and of course they claim this is the perfect individual, a beautiful person. They really do claim he's the perfect individual. Yes, Islam's about civilization. Well, Islam is against all civilizations. It did destroy the Abyssinian, the Iranian, the Greek, and the Roman civilization, because basically it took all our lands and took most of our people. So there you go. There's just a handful of old Mo's war crimes. Mo the butcher of Saudi Arabia. So I'll put a link underneath, but there's other sources as well. I might put a link under to those. But he was not a nice man. He enjoyed raping children, raping boys, raping girls, and he was obviously very, very sadistic. There were 4 of his followers once mentioned in the Quran, and they wanted to leave. They obviously realised that they probably didn't want to do all the beheading and all the filth. They were probably, men with kids, and they wanted to leave. So he said, "Yes, okay, leave." And he subsequently sent assassins out, and they poked their eyes out with hot nails and chopped their hands and feet off and left them to die in the desert sun. And this was some of his own people, thereby, setting the scene that this is a terrorist ideology. It always has been, and it always will be. Okay. See you guys. Bye-bye.